Throughout this tutorial, we will navigate the St. James Tea Time reservation system, Chelsea. Starting at the welcome screen, we will first use the 5-digit member number and password we have created to log in. Once logged in, you'll see 5 tabs across the top that will aid us in requesting, reviewing, and booking tea times. Depending on your membership, you'll be able to book a tea time anywhere from 2 to 14 days in advance. With same-day tea times, you must contact the golf shop directly. Let's focus on one day, for example, December 20th at Founders Club. Being relatively new to the area, I'd like to join a group later that afternoon. First thing I'll need to do is go to the Review tab to review a tee sheet. Under there, I will select December 20th and Founders Club. Hit Display. As you can see, Founders will be starting off 1 and 10 that day, starting at 8:30 a.m. The afternoon wave will kick off at 1 o'clock off of number 1. Down below, as you can see, Mr. and Mrs. Haverkamp have a 4:10 tea time off of number 1. In order to join their group at 4:10, I will then need to go to the Booking tab, add a booking, select the day I'd like to play, December 20th, select the course, Founders Club, 18 holes of golf, 4:10 in the afternoon. Now, the most important thing to note is to place yourself in the box below. This will populate all tee times that have 1 or more spots available throughout the desired time frame. Once I've done that, I'll hit Display Times. As you can see, Mr. and Mrs. Haverkamp have appeared at 4:10. They currently have 2 spots open. I'll select the time frame once I'm ready to join their group, and then I'll hit Submit. As you can see, the tee time's been recorded, December 20th, Founders Club, 4:10 p.m. off of hole number 1 for 18 holes. Now that we've covered adding a booking and reviewing a tee sheet, we will now request a booking. Requesting a booking is a tee time request of the placement in which the tee sheet comes out every 2 weeks. As a full golf member, you'll be able to request a tee time anywhere between 15 to 28 days in advance, while also requesting a recurring tee time request up to 90 days in advance for a specific day of the week. Let's say we wish to request a tee time for December 30th with Mr. and Mrs. Haverkamp. To do so, we will utilize a Request tab. We will add a request, select the day we'd like to request. Our course selection is the ranking in which you desire to play. Mrs. Haverkamp enjoys Founders the most, so we will put Founders as number 1, Members as number 2, Players 3, Reserve 4. The tee time will be 3 o'clock in the afternoon, with the earliest being 2 o'clock that we will be available. Preference will be time over course. Number of holes we would like to play will be 18, and for now it will just be Mrs. Haverkamp, Mr. Haverkamp, and myself. It will be 1 tee time. Select player information. This is where you're going to put the group together. Search for yourself. Select that. Select the Haverkamps. Just to make sure everything's correct, Founders Club, Saturday, December 30th, 3 o'clock p.m. Submit. As you can see, it's been recorded, Founders 18 holes, 3 o'clock p.m., myself and the 2 Haverkamps. Now that we've been able to book a request and a tee time, let's take a look at the other tabs after offer. Under Request, we will then find Add a Recurring Request. The difference between adding a recurring request and a regular request is with a recurring request, you will select a certain day of the week, and from there, you'll select the date range in which you'd like that during the week. So seeing as the tee sheet's already been pulled for the 22nd, as it's 2 weeks out, we'll then select the 23rd, which is also a Saturday. And with recurring requests, how we can go 90 days out, we can then go all the way, let's go January 20th. We'll keep the same selection of courses for Mrs. Haverkamp, same time. Time being our preference, 18 holes. Now, if we'd like to add more people to our group, we just had new neighbors move in. We will add a second tee time and include them on the player info. Scroll up to player info to enter players. Search for myself. Search for the Haverkamps. Again, Mrs. Haverkamp. Now the Clarks would like to join us. And the Smiths would like to join us. All right. Now that we looked over our tea times, it'd be 3 o'clock, Founders Club. It'll be a date range of those Saturdays. It's also important to note that the first person in the linked tea time will also be the captain. So currently, if I wanted to go back and redo this request, I would be the only one that would be able to change around the names. If Mr. Clark was the first person in the tea time, he would have the option to actually change the names as well. But since I am the captain of the group, I can actually go back and change the names. From here, I will hit submit. As you can see, the tea times have been posted, the requests, from the 23rd to the 20th of January. Now, if we wanted to go in and delete a few players, as said before, as you notice on the edit request, you'll see a link card for each of the recurring requests. So this is our normal request on the 30th with Mr. and Mrs. Haverkamp. These other ones are linked cards because they're recurring requests through the 20th of January. So if I were to go into this recurring request to edit players, I'm going to go to player info. Take Mrs. Clark out. And put Mr. Clark down there to even out the threesome. And hit submit. If you'd like to delete yourself out of a regular booking and not a request, go into the Booking tab, delete a booking, select the tea time in which you're in, and this will just delete yourself out of it because it only appears that Mr. and Mrs. Haverkamp have made the tea time prior to you booking yourself in there, so therefore this will just be yourself being taken out. Hit submit. Now if you want to double check, go back to review a tea sheet, select that December 20th date at Founders, just to be sure Mr. and Mrs. Haverkamp are still in there. And there they are. If we want to circulate back to the welcome page, just go to the main tab and right to the welcome. I hope this tutorial has helped explain the ins and outs of Chelsea, and I hope you have a wonderful day on the golf course.